Let's open up again to Surah Nuh. We stopped at أَلَمْ تَرَوْا كَيْفَ خَلَقَ اللَّهُ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا. Have you not seen how Allah has created 7 heavens, one above the other? So here is a very interesting question. Allah says, have you not seen how He's done it? But we haven't seen the heavens, correct? So the taro here is, have you not contemplated what you already believe in that Allah created 7 heavens? That's what it is. Because clearly now, we actually haven't seen them. Allah says here in Ayah 15, we haven't seen them. So it is essentially we've believed in them. Now let's see what the tafasir say regarding this one, because it may have another meaning to it. ذكر لهم دليلا آخر أي ألم تعلموا أن الذي قدر على هذا فهو الذي يجب أن يعبد. Meaning you believe that Allah has created 7 heavens, one on top of the other. Therefore, that's one of the reasons you should worship Him, because He has that power. And He says that the 7 heavens are like domes upon one another. And Allah knows best. Ibn Abbas and As-Sudi said that they're like domes. Al-Hasan says, Allah created 7 heavens, one on top of the other. Each one has its own earth, or its own ground. So when Allah says, also in Surah At-Talaq, if I'm not mistaken, Allahu alladhi khalaqa sab'a samawat wa min al-ardi mithlahun. He created 7 skies, and from the earths like it. It means each sky, each abode has a heavens, a clouds and sky, and an earth. A ground and a sky. And then the creatures walk in between, or the beings walk in between. That's the meaning of it. He then says, أَلَمْ تَرَوْا عَلَى جِهَةِ الْإِخْبَارِ لَا الْمُعَايَنَةِ. That's exactly what we said. أَلَمْ تَرَوْا means, have you not contemplated what has been transmitted to you, not what you have actually seen. That's why it says على جهة الإخبار لا المعاينة, which means from the perspective of transmission, transmitted knowledge about the 7 heavens, not direct witnessing, because we haven't witnessed the 7 heavens. Just like the person says, ألم ترني كيف صنعت بفلان كذا كذا. Right? What do you think of what I told you or what I did with so and so? Like that. So على جهة الإخبار, الإخبار, transmission. لا المعاينة, observation. Because we know that information comes to us in 3 different ways. Either we experience it with our bodies, live demonstration, observation being the number 1, or we hear about it from somebody, such as we get news, we read about it, it's transmitted to us, or we think about it. And that's the conclusions that result from analogy, the conclusions that result from deduction and induction. So that's the meaning of this ayah. أَلَمْ تَرَوْا كَيْفَ خَلَقَ اللَّهُ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ. He's speaking to the believers now. وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ فِيهِنَّ نُورًا وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. And then Allah Ta'ala has placed in that, أي في سماء الدنيا, in this earth, we have a moon. And what gives light to the moon? The sun. So that's the difference between the moon and the sun. The moon reflects light, but the sun gives the light. And the sun and the moon were created with the earth. وَجَعَلَ الْقَمَرَ بَيْنَ النُّورِ وَجَعَلَ الشَّمْسَ سِرَاجًا. So an-nur, when we say light, does not mean it's the source of light. But if we say siraj, it is the source of light. So an-nur is not necessarily a source of light. So for example, if you were to put a mirror here, and the mirror reflects light, it's not the source of the light, it's a reflection of the light. And these lamps that are here in the studio are the sources of the light. That's a siraj, correct. ثُمَّ يُعِيدُكُمْ فِيهَا وَيُخْرِجُكُمْ إِخْرَاجًا وَاللَّهُ جَعَلَ لَكُمُ الْأَرْضَ بِسَاطًا. He's made the earth a bisat for you. In other words, if the earth was always up and down, we couldn't operate on it. We couldn't build anything on it. But Allah made the earth a bisat. It flattened so that لِتَسْلُكُوا مِنْهَا سُبُلًا فِجَاجًا, so that you could travel in it, you can operate in it. And the earth is an amazing thing in that it's soft enough to lay down on it. You can lay down on grass, you can lay down on it, and it doesn't hurt. It's not like concrete. But it's also hard enough to build on. And that's what's amazing about the khalq of the earth. It can suit both things. And he recreates us from this earth. We're recreated. And people say, how could you believe in recreation? Well, how was it created in the first place? That's the question. How was it created in the first place? قال نوح رب إنهم عصوني واتبعوا من لم يزده ماله وولده إلا خسارة. And Allah Ta'ala gives us a summary of why we should argue and how we should argue against all false beliefs. It's going to hurt your wealth and your children. In other words, your population, your wealth, it's got all false beliefs. And here's a general principle: that which is contrary to reality, that which is not in line and not bound to reality, is going to hurt you. And the most beneficial people are those who exist, whose actions and understandings and behavior and beliefs are in accord with reality. If you're not in accord with reality, you're going to hurt yourself. Simple as that. If you're living in La La Land, then the best philosophy to look at is Karl Marx. It's not in reality. It's like imagination. And look at the result of every socialist nation that applied Marxism. They got ruined.